What's up guys, it's Pete from Gladius Studios and I am absolutely thrilled to be here today to introduce you to who we are as a content producer and to also introduce you to our very first ever YouTube video. Now it has been so exciting because I've been working on this project for such a long time that I thought it would be a really good idea to actually start to produce videos for the content. So without further ado, let's introduce who we are. As a channel, we are a Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer 30,000, Age of Sigma and Warhammer Fantasy content producer of the Games Workshop model range line. Essentially what that means is we're going to take those products from Games Workshop and generally work with those in particular models. There will be a lot of kitbashing and a lot of rearranging and a lot of unique colour schemes that we want to work with. So we thought it'd be a great idea to just generally experiment on YouTube, show a couple of our, well, crazy ideas, I suppose. But enough of that, we'll get into that later on. What I want to do right now is shout out the people that made this possible. And firstly, one of those people is going to be Nick from Rogue's Quarter. Now Nick was lovely enough to actually set me up with a Tau army for me to buy. And I'll put a link in the description below so you can go and check the website and maybe order something from him. If you're from London down that way, then it's definitely worth picking up this address online and having a look and see if you can actually get some deals for yourself and maybe start a new year, new army. I highly recommend that. It's always a great opportunity to start experimenting and playing with new ideas. One of our new experiments and new ideas will come later on. However, we're not finished there. We'd also like to shout out to the investor who actually managed to give me some money to go and spend Nick's Rogue's Quarter. So massive thank you to Dale Ryan Parkinson. Yes, I used your full name. No, I'm not sorry. Dale's one of my closest friends. He's been with me as my best friend on and off for years, but I suppose that's what happens. Friends fight, friends get back together, but you always find out who's your true friend when they stick around. So thank you Dale, thank you for investing, thank you for being there. Massive thank you to you for helping me begin this YouTube career. Shout out to the Instagram community as well. So if anyone's actually listening onto this video, we posted like a news feed yesterday just to give you all like a heads up that we were doing some content for YouTube and that you should stick around because we'll put a link in the description. So all going well, there should be a second post today with this link to the channel so you guys can go and watch it. If there isn't, I do apologise, and if you're not from Instagram, welcome to the channel. Hope you're enjoying the introduction so far, but we do get better and we do want to hit home on a personal touch, so I really do hope you enjoy yourself. But again, thank you to the people on Instagram anyway. Some people might argue that 300 people following you or 350 odd people following you on Instagram isn't a massive achievement, but to be honest, it's just an incredible feeling to have people following me as a whole. It's nice to have an idea that the Warhammer community is out there supporting me. Which leads into the next part for what our aims and goals are going to be for the next year. So, continuing forward, one of the things that we aim to do for next year is set up a Patreon. So if you really want to help us out and help us buy a couple more miniatures that we all generally put a lot of effort in making up for you guys, then Patreon's the way to go. I'm looking forward to actually introducing Patreon as well, because we're not looking for hundreds and thousands of an income. We're just looking for the bare minimum to actually buy the miniatures and keep the projects going, keep the entertainment coming, keep the whole channel just up and running. And things we generally do want to talk about that your money would go towards making better. And we'll talk about that when we actually make the Patreon video later on. But it just generally goes towards the miniatures and the equipment. So what we mean by the equipment is like a new camera, better better editing. I couldn't get my words out then. Better editing tools, so apps and softwares and stuff like that to use on the computers. It'd just be really great. Tools as well for the models, because even though we have some great tools at the moment, we're just using tools that are your basic sort of model tools. But if we decided, we really need something that we're going to do a really good kit bash, we need this in particular saw or this cutting tool or this knife or this green stuff or brushes to paint the model, glues to stick them together, sand to make the sceneries. These are just ideas that we will potentially hit on and develop as we go along. We also seem to want to introduce Q&As as well. So every month from January onwards, we're going to aim to do a question and answer, or Q&A as it's called, and potentially do a live chat or a live charity event throughout the year. Sometimes you'll see like YouTubers all across the world doing certain events for like 24-hour gamings and stuff like that. And last year we saw quite a few YouTube content producers just making a real good effort at what they were doing in their hobbies, and it's just so incredible and so moving to see that. So hopefully we can continue that trend as well and introduce it to our own, like in particular, work. So yeah, moving forward, models, kit bashing, entertainment, question and answering, live chats, Patreons, these are all the general ideas that we want to move forward with and introduce into the channel. If I haven't already said it, and I'll say it again, but we're going to specialise in Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer 30,000, Age of Sigmar and Warhammer Fantasy. These are the type of genres or armies, rules, realms, etc. from the universes of Games Workshop. For the moment, we are going to stick primarily to Warhammer products. So that includes, like I just said, Age of Sigmar, 30k, 40k, and Fantasy. We will include other things like Blood Bowl, Lord of the Rings later on down the line. But for the moment, we're just going to stick to 40k and AOS. Then we're going to introduce 30k and Warhammer Fantasy throughout next year. Fingers crossed, all being well. And then we're just going to continue with producing everything we want to do. So it's just incredible to actually make a start. Something as well that we're also going to try and aim for is not to make too many mistakes. So this video recording is actually like the 112th attempt. It's just been so chaotic to try and make a voice recording because of the equipment that we have. But that being said, it's not an issue. We're still determined to make what we're making, and we aim to actually produce more and more videos as we go along. The army that you see in the background was, like I said from earlier, it's from Nick from Rogue's Quarters. Absolutely amazing army. It was beautiful to paint. It was beautiful to do up as well. One of the reasons I chose it is because I quite like the lore behind it from what I could pick up. So as I believe they are from the Quava. I'm terribly sorry, I can't pronounce Tau very well, but I know that it's the original cadre that the Commander Farsight is to be from. And from the little lore that I read up about, they're meant to be a very aggressive Tau formation and Firecast. So I really wanted to introduce that into the models as well. So around the models, the Fire Warriors and the Crisis Suits and the Commander, you see these little, it could either be chipping from the armor or it could be splash damage from the mud that the planet that they're fighting on. I wanted to have little elements of I believe it's called the Democrus or Democlostes Decomis. I can't spell that name, I'm terribly sorry. It's from the campaign of the Raven Guard and White Scars versus the Tau. And I just thought, hey, wouldn't it be great if I had some Raven Guard helmets here and there, fighting Imperial position on the world, I suppose. And so on some of the bases you'll see these little effects of hints that I wanted to include. All in all, it was great. The Imperial and the Fire Warrior Commander that you see together in the same photo, that's incredible, because the Tau Fire Warriors, you get like 13 legs with them, but no bodies after the 10th one. So luckily me, I had a scout body laying around, and would you have been able to tell that the fire commander, or commander, whatever he is, for the Fire Warriors, would you have been able to tell that he was wearing a scout bodysuit? No, me neither. Neither did my friends when I showed them. But all in all, I just wanted to quickly say thank you all again before I go, and it's just an incredible moment to introduce ourselves to the channel, and I'm looking forward to introducing more content as well. Space Marines will definitely be featured a lot on the channel. I do apologise, but don't worry, Xenos players, because we're going to have some very heretical Chaos Space Marines not so far behind them. And I think that will do for today's video. It's absolutely incredible to get my foot in the door. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in to watch. Thank you to everyone who is going to watch. All in all, great to be here, and I can't wait to introduce myself. Thank you so much.
Lifeless critic in a black grenade. Like this is fixed, try to brag. Time up, don't speak. All the crew line up.